and welcome to Cavan TV News and Views. First off, we'd like to say thanks to Syra for the broadband and to Positive Age in Drummondley for the studio here in Castle Manor. Well, this evening, folks, is the first cold evening we've had this winter. It is freezing outside tonight. As I say, the first cold evening this winter. Now, this evening, for a treat, folks, we're going to go live to Florida, over to see a great Irishman and indeed the son of a great Cavan man. We're going to talk to none other than Shaun Clancy. Shaun, good evening.
Good evening, Áine. How are you?
Great to talk to you. As a bit of an introduction to you, I'd like to say, Shaun, that your dad before you, John, a great man. We know him really well here in Cavan TV. We've had great interviews with him and they get great views. A great man to tell a story, and he had that wonderful business in Cavan, the Derrigara Inn. But he went to America and he brought all his family over there to America. Started a wonderful business over there again, and I think that's where you spent most of your life. Can you tell us, Shaun, and I want to say as well, the first thing I want to say is that one of the iconic places that Cavan people go to when they do go to New York is everybody went to visit Foleys Bar.
I was lucky enough to be able to open Foleys 2003, and we had Foleys up until March of this year when, well, I like to say, I mean, we're right now, we're just kind of, it's like halftime. You know, in baseball terms, Foleys a big baseball bar, talk about the end of the inning, but to bring it back to something that a lot of your listeners, this is halftime. We're just getting ready for the second half to start. We're not sure where it's going to be, but you know, Foleys will rise again. Just
before you go there, Shaun, one thing about Foleys, a great bar for Irish to go and visit, and possibly Irish working in New York as well. But you had this wonderful baseball thing going on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be honest with you, I'd be lying if I said that when I started Foleys, I set out to work for, like, we were basically known as one of the top 5 baseball bars in the country. And Google voted Foleys the #1 sports bar in New York. But yeah, I fell in love with the game of baseball shortly actually before I came to live in New York. But it was so when I got a chance to open a bar, I wanted to combine obviously my two great loves, which is, I mean, obviously Irish born and, you know, Irish hospitality and everything that goes with that, and a baseball theme of sorts, you know. And obviously, you know, it's funny because people say, well, you know, what do Irish people know about baseball? But I mean, to the average person out there, baseball is rounders, which we all played as kids growing up, you know. And when people tell me that, well, they don't play baseball in Ireland, well, the GA was formed in 1884, and one of the 5 sports that it covered was rounders. So that's always been my angle. And it's pretty cool, and it's also cool when you have, you know, there's even a connection between baseball and Cavan.
Go on, tell us.
So it's always nice to you know, to be able to combine the two things, and that's what we did at Foleys, and that's what we plan to do at Foleys whenever and wherever we rise again.
Yeah, you got to know and you got to meet some of the best, some of the greats in New York baseball.
Yeah, I was very lucky. I mean, we were lucky at Foleys. A lot of it had to do, obviously, the fact that we were right across the street from the Empire State Building happened was, you know, but it was great to be able to, great to be able to welcome so many of them there, you know. But I have to be honest. I mean, some of the most memorable, one of the most memorable people I got to meet at Foleys was, believe it or not, the Bomber Liston, because as a kid growing up, I mean, that was when the heyday of those great teams from Kerry, and I had to look up one day and there's, you know, Owen Liston, who was my idol growing up, because, you know, he played full forward, and he was big, and I was kind of big when I played full forward for Butler's Bridge back in the day. That was pretty cool, and obviously a man that's in the news at the minute that we got to welcome to Foleys and got him to sign a baseball and put on the wall was Mickey Graham. So, you know, that in itself was also pretty awesome. So it's always great to meet people, and, you know, whether, you know, and that's the thing about Foleys, is we treated everybody the same, whether, you know, somebody I went to school with in St. Pat's or some of the top guys in baseball. You know, we wanted them to have a good time and enjoy themselves, and I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. obviously COVID has done harm. It's done harm to Foleys. It's done harm to, I'd say, a lot of businesses like yours in New York. That is changing the scene with everything. It's changing everything worldwide. But like, how is New York now as a city with places like yours closing down?
Well, obviously, as I said, I'm in Florida now, but the sad part is that New York is right now it's a ghost town. It's a shell of itself because what made New York obviously was the people. I mean, it was a city. There was a city that never slept. It was a city of when you consider it, it's the number one tourist attraction in the world. You had 8 million people. You had 8 million people living there, but you had something like, the subway. 4 million people a day rode the subway. So now it's you have no office workers, you have no tourists, and obviously, for what we dealt with sports fans and stuff like that, you have no sports fans. So, I mean, it's a ghost town. And where we go next, we don't know, because obviously we have to wait for the vaccines. We have to wait for, for this. It's. I kind of equate it to golf. People ask me, what are you going to do? I said, well, we can't take the next shot until the ball stops rolling, and it's, as of right now, it's still rolling. So it's just a matter of. We try to do what we can. I know from Foleys, we try to do what we can to help, the less fortunate, and reach out and take care of the staff and take care of who we can, and basically just, keep our heads down and be ready to go again.
That sounds really good, Shaun. You're keeping a level head there, and I'd say fair play. You're keeping it cool and see what happens. Could you, now you've just settled in, and you told me the story of your move to Florida, that you had to let your house go in New York for obvious reasons, and actually you were lucky to be in a position to do that and to be able to set down roots in Florida. It was great that you were able to do that. Do you think perhaps you could see yourself doing something similar in Florida?
To be honest with you, I'm not really sure where. I have no idea where we're going. I know that we will rise again. I know that we will have. It's become affectionately referred to as Foleys 2.0. But truthfully, where I'm not opposed to being anywhere. That we've had offers. I've had offers from Vegas, obviously offers in New York. Because of the baseball connection, there have been some offers that are tied to some of the baseball stadiums.
Right.
Even had an offer to go to Mexico. But as I said, it took me long enough to get here that I'm not going to leave without a fight. So
that's great, man. That's great. You hold on to that dream.
And tell you where the new Foleys is going to be. But right now, it's all up in the air.
Yeah, but I can see you holding on to that dream. You're going to do it.
Well, we're going to do something. I mean, like you said, what made Foleys and the thing I'm most proud of is, it's always been the people. It's always been about the people, and that's what's important. It's always about being, the cool thing about it's great to say about having the connections and knowing all these people, but we were lucky enough to be able to help a lot of people. Both here and in Ireland, and in the 16 years from Foleys, we raised almost $750,000 for a whole slew of different charities, and that's what I want to get back to doing. Get back to helping people and doing what we can, and having the crack, and but at the end of the day, if you can help somebody along the way, it's always good.
That's fantastic, Shaun. You make it sound easy, but I know it's not easy to do that, but fair play to you, make it sound easy. I'd like to say congratulations to you as well. I think your daughter has just qualified for Maynooth in law. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Both my kids live in Ireland. Emma just finished her degree from Maynooth. She is working away. She lives in Enfield, and Ryan, her brother, Ryan works with adults with disabilities, and I'm very proud of what they've done, and everything I do I've always done for them. And obviously I have 3 sisters living back there, Angela, Sinead and Norma, and as you mentioned at the start, the Grand Poobah, or Papa John as he's known, he is living he's living in Ireland at the minute while we figure out what's going to happen next.
Well, great stuff. I can see similarities between your dad and the way he carried out his business. Like the Derrigara Inn was like a hot hub to go to years ago, and it had a theme. It was a themed pub of the way it was done up. Like there was memorabilia from all over the world. It was unique in a way, and I can see the correlation coming down through Foleys in a way as well, and also your dad was well known and kept in there and was great at telling stories. A very popular place to go, and you've had the same in Foleys. John, I see your Irish spirit is really coming through. You're a proud Irishman, and you can carry that with you anywhere. We'd love to see you. It would be great to see you setting up another Foleys. Please carry that dream and let us know about it, won't you?
Oh, I certainly will, and like I said, I look forward to hopefully the next time we do this that I can do it live from wherever 2.0 is. We'll do it live. We'll do it live from.
Well, I think Calvin would love to see that. Calvin definitely would love to see that. We could do a live stream and keep up there and keep us abreast of it and let us know.
No problem.
So, Shaun, I'd like to say to you, from all the folk from Calvin, I'd like to say hi from Calvin to all the Irish diaspora over there in the States.
And if I might, given that we're in December, if I want to wish everybody that is out there listening, I want to wish everybody a healthy and a happy Christmas, and it will be finally finished with 2020 and we can get on with 2021. I'd say hello obviously to all my family, and on a personal note, a good friend of ours, Martin Gaffney from the Abbey Bar, it's his birthday today, so I'd like to reach out and wish Martin a happy
Well done, that's great. Yeah, happy birthday, Martin. Well done, Shaun. It was great speaking to you, and great that you're over there in Florida enjoying 19 degrees once again. And from us all here in Cavan and Cavan TV, I'd like to say happy Christmas to you and your family, and I'd like to say happy Christmas to all the Irish people and the Cavan people in the States. And all I can say for the new year is hold on in there, folks. It just has to get better.